Hello everyone. Welcome to Turkish series stars. All the whispers, all the quiet surprises, and every behind-the-scenes detail are right here. Before we dive in, hit subscribe and share this video so you don't miss the latest updates from Turkish series stars. Thank you so much for being with us today. Tonight's story circles around a name adored by audiences and a romance that fans have tracked in quiet, careful glances, Baris Baktaş. The handsome star has suddenly found himself at the center of conversation, not because of a new role, but because of something far more intimate. According to those close to him, Baris has stepped into fatherhood with his longtime partner, the graceful and private Yağmur Yüksel. The revelation didn't burst onto the scene in a flashy post or a dramatic interview. It slipped out in hushed tones, whispers that he kept this joy sealed away, even from parts of his inner circle, for longer than anyone expected. For years, Baris's professional life has been a steady climb, his performances winning loyal admirers while his private world stayed under lock and key. That restraint only made the ripples bigger when word of a baby reached the public. Insiders claim that the relationship between Baris and Yağmur had grown into something deeply rooted and serious, so much so that they had already told their closest friends, "It's time, we're getting married." But fate decided to rewrite the script. While the couple quietly moved toward a wedding, a different bell rang first, a baby on the way, and then, a healthy birth. Friends paint a vivid picture of Baris in this new chapter, open-hearted, awestruck, and changed. In private, he said to describe meeting his child as the turning point of his life. One friend quotes him softly, "This is the biggest moment I've ever known. From now on, nothing matters more than the road we're setting for the little one." Another source says he's been using words like responsibility, peace, and gratitude, words you rarely hear from a man so cautious about revealing his inner world. As for the birth, what we've heard is simple and comforting. Yağmur's delivery was smooth, and both mother and baby are doing well. That's all the couple wanted people to know, no grand reveal, no staged photos, no public spectacle. In fact, that's been their rhythm all along. They've been together for some time, yet they've made a shared effort to avoid being photographed side by side. No joint holiday albums, no couple portraits, no suggestive captions. It worked until it didn't. Baby news changes the weather around two people, and suddenly the spotlight followed them whether they invited it or not. Fans didn't waste a heartbeat. Social media lit up with joy and tenderness. "Fatherhood sits so naturally on Baris," wrote one user. Another added, "May the wedding glow just like this," while countless others chimed in, "We've been waiting to hear something like this for so long." Those messages didn't sound like empty slogans, they carried the warmth of people who feel as if they've grown up with him, celebrating not a character on the screen but the man who brings those characters to life. Industry watchers expect Baris to speak out soon, carefully, quietly, but honestly. Don't be surprised if he shares a measured message confirming the baby, thanking everyone for their kindness, and outlining the couple's plans. Word is, he and Yağmur have been sketching a simple wedding, nothing flashy, likely within the next few months. Something low-key and meaningful, attended by family and closest friends. A ceremony that says, "We've made promises already, this is just the moment we let the world witness them." It's hard to overstate what a moment like this means, both for a career and a life. Professionally, Baris is in a good place. Personally, he has taken a step that reshapes everything. People who know him say he's calmer now, softer around the edges, and more focused on what really matters. The baby arrived as a surprise to many, but to those who've watched the couple closely, it feels like a natural continuation of a love that has long been quietly steady. Then came the second wave of chatter, echoing the first but carrying its own flavor. Headlines and messages repeated the same sweeter note, "The leading man is a dad." Those who missed the first round woke up to find timelines full of congratulations. Fans looked back on his earlier roles, remembering how he threw himself into complicated characters with discipline and thoughtfulness, and they wondered aloud how fatherhood might deepen that work. The news itself, shared in gentle, indirect ways, traveled fast, picking up blessing after blessing along the way. Hazy timelines became clearer as more details seeped out. This romance has been building for nearly 2 years. They took their time, never rushed, always choosing privacy over publicity. Last summer, it's said their families met, one of those step-by-step moments that feels small to outsiders but monumental to those living it. The idea of a wedding didn't arrive with a clap of thunder, it walked in slowly, wearing a comfortable smile. But life threw in its own twist, one that outshines any formal plan. A child first, a ceremony later. No scandal. No drama. Just a reshuffling of milestones. From those same circles, we heard something more intimate about the moment he became a father. He told friends he felt a bond he'd never known before, something immediate and overwhelming. For the first time, he reportedly said, "I understand how love can change your sense of time. Everything I do from now on is for our baby." That line keeps returning in conversations around him, proof that even people accustomed to his cool composure can hear how much he's changed. Viewers noticed that he seemed scarce on set for a stretch. Less visible at events, quieter at gatherings. The open secret now is that his attention was elsewhere, on preparing their home and their hearts for a new arrival. If he stepped back from the spotlight, it wasn't for lack of work ethic, it was for love, and for the privacy he's always protected. In that sense, nothing about this story contradicts who he has always been. It reinforces it. And still, the couple's commitment to staying off-grid as a duo remains firm. There are no coordinated announcements on social media, no carefully lit photos of matching outfits, no orchestrated newspaper coverage. Even now that people know, they prefer to keep a boundary. The message they seem to be sending is clear: some parts of life grow stronger in the quiet. The audience, meanwhile, is doing what it always does, responding in chorus. "Seeing him this happy will transform his performances," someone commented. "Let love lead him right to the aisle," another wrote. Others predicted a different glow in his eyes in the next project, one that can't be taught and can't be faked. Love, responsibility, and late-night lullabies have a way of writing themselves onto a person's face. There's talk of a classic ceremony, tasteful, intimate, somewhere with light that falls softly and no loud distractions. A place where promises can be whispered and still feel monumental. No dates have been announced, no invitations slipped into prominent hands, but people who keep a close watch insist the plan is close to set. In their telling, Baris wants a celebration that centers the families who raised them, the friends who stood by them, and the child who has already become the axis of their world. What's striking is how this story doesn't burn with scandal, it glows with tenderness. Their choices line up in a straight row: protect what matters, share only what's necessary, and let the love itself do the talking. And yet, the pull of celebrity is strong. Curiosity hums. Cameras try to guess their steps. But it's a mark of respect that the loudest reaction from fans isn't demanding proof. It's offering blessings. As we wrap, let's be honest about what we're seeing. The man who built a career on discipline and presence is now learning a different choreography: feedings, tiny socks, the hush that falls over a room when a baby finally sleeps. In private, people say he laughs more easily, speaks more softly, and guards his time with even more care. The wedding will come when it needs to. The rest is already here. So here's where we leave you tonight: Baris Baktaş and Yagmur Yüksel, together on a path they chose slowly, tenderly, and on their own terms. A child welcomed into a world that was ready, even if no one outside saw it coming. A promise of vows to follow, of a ceremony that will feel less like a spectacle and more like a quiet confirmation of what they already live every day. The spotlight may be bright, but they're teaching it to dim when it needs to. If you've cheered for him on screen, this is your moment to cheer for him in life. If you've admired her away from flashbulbs, this is your chance to recognize the strength in choosing silence over clamor. And if you're one of the many who wrote, "Fatherhood fits him," you might be right. Time will tell. For now, there's a baby sleeping, a love that kept its own secrets, and a future everyone is content to wait for. Thank you for watching Turkish series Stars. If this story moved you, don't forget to subscribe and share so others can hear it too. We'll be here, bringing you the quiet truths and the gentle shocks, the moments that matter and the ones that catch us by surprise. Until next time, take care and stay tuned to Turkish series stars.